It's just that I'm the kind of person who's kind of like a jack of all trades. I like to do everything, and I'm always into stuff all the time. So you just kind of never know what I'm gonna do next. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am Natasha Charmaine, and if you are new here, welcome. In today's video, we are going to get to know me. So stick around. Alright, so today's video, we are learning 7 things about me that you didn't know. I just have my phone that I put my notes down for what we're going to be talking about. I know you're probably thinking, why 7 things and not 10 things? But I don't know that I could think of 10 things. I probably can later on. I don't know. 3 more things, I guess. I don't know. But I came up with 7, so let's just roll with it. I've been doing my channel for, I guess, a little over a year now. I've had my channel going back, I'd say almost 10 years, if anything, but I never really did anything with it, and it's only lately that I really started posting ever since having baby Milan and just wanting to document everything and, you know, be able to look back on it and say, oh wow, I did that, you know. So here are 7 things that I'm actually going to look back at and say, oh wow, I did that, or, you know, something of the sort. So we're going to learn about me today, just a little bit of getting to know me, and you know, just knowing that I did have a life prior to having a baby and being a mom, and we're just going to get into those things. So let's start with the first one. So the first thing that you probably didn't know about me is that I am Caribbean. Yes, I am from the beautiful island of Barbados. Okay, yeah, I am from that rock. That's what, I think it's 100 and it has like 280 something thousand people on it, and it's like 644 square miles, I think. Don't quote me, but it's somewhere around there. It's like smaller than the state of New York. You can travel the whole island of Barbados in like one day. I've done it, so I know it's possible. But if you didn't know, Barbados is big on having yearly carnivals called Crop Over. Basically everybody gets in their costumes and they jump in a band that plays music, and what the tradition is that we're celebrating the crop being over. Barbados was once a British colony, and they received their independence from England. Please don't ask me when. I'm so bad with my history. But one thing I can tell you is that if you go to Barbados, you will have a good time. The water is crystal clear. You go into the water and you can see your feet through the water because it's so clear. The sand is like a white pink color. It's hot all year round because it's the Caribbean. Yes, pop singer Rihanna is from Barbados, and a whole lot of other great things about Barbados, but we're not going to get into all of that. If you want to know, Google it. But yes, I am from Barbados. All right, so the second thing you probably didn't know about me is that I went to modeling school. Granted, I'm only 5'3", but when I was 16 years old, my mom enrolled me in modeling school in New York. I think it was called Barbizon, if I remember correctly. And I used to go every Saturday. I'd hop on the train and I'd head out to the city. And every Saturday when you got there, the first thing you would do is you would put on your heels and you had to walk up and down the runway until your teacher came in. So we had to walk with our heels. Granted, to say I learned how to walk the runway, do the T's, do my turns, do my pivots. You know, I learned a lot of stuff. We even had a handbook. And don't even know where that handbook is today. I wish I really would have kept that because it had a lot of really good information in it. They taught you things like, let's say if you were hired by an agency and you were going out to meet with your, your clients, which were like, let's say Ralph Lauren or something, and you're going out to dinner, the handbook taught you things like you needed to know your water goblet, your wine glass, your salad fork, your soup spoon. I mean, it just taught you how to be like so sophisticated and so classy so that you knew how to represent yourself as a person when you went out into the world and you didn't embarrass the modeling agency. So that handbook was a godsend. It was kind of like going to charm school in some sense because you learned so many things. They taught us how to put on our makeup. They taught us how to do our own manicures. Same thing for pedicure. One thing that I really did learn from them was that they taught you that should you go on a go-see and let's say you land the job, and once you land the job and you started making money, one of the things that you don't want to do is take your money and go out and spend it on getting your hair and your nails done. Those are things that you should know how to do for yourself, right? And so they taught us how to do our hair in like those really sophisticated buns and rolls, I'll share one other thing with you. When you are at the top of the stairs and you are wearing a mini skirt, when you come down the stairs, when you climb down the stairs, you should always turn your knees slightly to the inside of the steps as you go down and kind of like step down, like glide down, so that people at the bottom of the steps aren't looking right up your skirt, because that happens. So those are some of the things that I learned in modeling school. I was 16 years old and I graduated from Barbizon and I never got a gig. But I did, however, with my best friend. He was a photographer and we went out into the city and I visited like all the modeling agencies because I just wanted to be able to go out there and be like, who are these agencies, in case one day I can go up in there and be like, here's my photos. We went to Ford Models, we went to Elite Model Agency, we went to Wilhelmina. Wilhelmina is good for doing body parts, like in commercials you'll see someone doing lotion, so they're really modeling their hands, or like toothpaste commercials where the girls are always smiling, so their teeth and their smile is really the body part that they're modeling. Things like that. But that's what we did back in the day. Nowadays it's a lot much easier because you've got social media. So moving on to the third item. The third thing that you didn't know about me is that I did beauty pageants. Yeah, I did beauty pageants. I only did like 2, but I still did it. Like my sister was the one that introduced me to someone that knew the person that had the beauty pageant. And I was actually going out for Miss Barbados USA. And basically when you win that title, you become a representative for the country of Barbados here in the United States. You do charity work, you go to lots of events. You're just basically a representative of the country. And you go back to the island and you talk to people and meet with people there and do more charity work, so on and so forth. So I remember in rehearsals we had to wear leggings with a fitted shirt, and we had to bring our heels. They did make us walk with a book on our head. You had to learn to constantly smile, because if you broke your smile in rehearsals, that means that you were going to break your smile the day of the show. And it was such a hard thing to do, because just smiling constantly, like all of a sudden your cheeks just start shaking from, your nerves just start like, and your jaw just starts to hurt. It's crazy. Nobody can just like smile like that for the whole time. So when you see these beauty pageants on TV like Miss USA and Miss Universe, that smile, they had to practice how to keep that and hold that and make it look genuine for a lengthy amount of time. And after a while, the air starts to go into your mouth and your lips get dry and they start to stick to your teeth. It's a real thing. It's just crazy. But the best thing you can do with that is like put some Vaseline inside just to keep it nice and slippery, so it doesn't feel so bad. But yeah, I did beauty pageants, and needless to say, I became the first runner-up. I didn't win, when I was the first runner-up. So I did beauty pageants like this. So the fourth thing you didn't know about me is that I am a singer. I am the lead singer for TCF Crew, who is an R&B singing group from the 90s that was signed to Warner Brothers Records, actually Cold Chillin' Records, which is a subsidiary of Warner Brothers Records. And I replaced the lead singer that they originally had, and I've been so for all of these years. We've done shows and we've performed, and I mean, don't get me wrong, we still do some stuff today, but not as much as we used to back in the day. But TCF Crew is known for some serious dance moves, and when I joined the group, I obviously didn't do as much dancing, but I do dance. I sung all through high school. I danced all through high school because I was that girl. You know, in school, you ask who's the singer up here. It's me. That's just what I did, you know. And I landed that gig through a friend that I knew. She came up to my job and she said she knew someone that was looking for a lead singer for their band, their group. And you gotta understand, somebody like me, always singing and dancing as a kid in the mirror with the brush, that was literally me. I know you hear stories about it, but that was me. And when I grew up, all I wanted to do was be a singer. I wanted to entertain. And I could dance, I could sing, I was cute. You know, it was just, it's all about connections and who you know. And yeah, she came to me and said, I know someone who's looking for a singer. And again, as a kid, you know, you form these little girl groups and you sing, you pretend that you're a group and you're dancing and you're singing and you make up these routines in the basement. That's what we did. We even went to, I was with a little girl group one time. I think we were in junior high. And somebody knew somebody. And we ended up, our parents took us to this record studio where the producers there had done some work for like New Kids on the Block or something. It was so old. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be it. And they asked me to come to the mic and I sang. And I mean, you know, you get so many no's till one day you get your yes, basically. But anyway, back to the story. So she said, I know someone who's looking for a lead singer for their group. And I'm thinking, oh God, another group. Okay. So I got to cut it again. I remember I did an audition over the phone. This audition was for a girl group, and they wouldn't tell me who the girl group was. I sung for them, they liked my voice, and the only thing is that I wasn't the height of the other girls because they wanted you to be like the same height. But I have a feeling it was like a real serious girl group that came out because it was 4 girls and they wouldn't tell me anything. It was like top secret. But I didn't get that gig anyway because I was too short. So, okay, again, back to the TCF Crew story. And so I said, okay. She said, it's okay if I give him your number for you to give him a call. And I was like, yeah, sure. Why not? What do I have to lose? You know, I've done so many auditions already. So he ended up calling me, and I went and I met with him. I sat in the car with him, and, you know, at first we started to talk, and he was asking me questions. Now, keep in mind, I didn't know who this guy was. I didn't know the group that I was auditioning for. All I know is that I've been down this road several times, right? And me growing up listening to music, like we listen to music every day in the house. Like when my mom woke up, she turned on the radio and the radio played all day. Okay, from the time I went to school to the time I came home, that music was on. And we kept it on our local radio station, which was like WBLS in New York. It's a black radio station that plays R&B. And I would come home and if I'm home or whatever and I hear like my favorite song on the radio, I would always run into the living room and just turn it up louder, and I'm in there and I'm like, yeah, and I'm getting my groove on and I'm making up all these little dances and stuff, and I'm like, what, and then I would just leave the living room after that. So anyway, so I got in the car and he started asking me questions and everything, and I told him how long I was singing and stuff like that, and you know, he was like, okay, well, let me hear you do something. So I did a little something for him. I don't even remember what I sung. But he was like, okay, cool. I like your voice. He says, you got a nice sound or whatever. So I said, okay, well, let me ask you. So I then in turn asked him, like, what's this group, how many people, what age, and you know, stuff like that. And he said, well, do you want to hear a song? I was like, yeah, if you have something, I'll listen to it. So I said, well, what's the name of the group? And he told me the name, but I wasn't really familiar with it. And he put the song in, and when I heard the song, my mouth fell. That was one of the songs that when I heard it on the radio, I ran into the living room and I turned it up, and I was just like, yeah, this is my jam. But no, I had no idea. So he was like, all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and talk to the rest of everybody else, and then just, you know, see what they all feel or whatever. And I'll give you a call, I'll let you know. I was so psyched, and I'm glad he didn't lead with that, because it would have made me so nervous to sing for him, knowing that I was singing for someone who was already established, already in a singing group, already signed to a record label, already did shows on Soul Train, at Apollo, on BET for music videos. I was like, what? I'm gonna be the lead singer for that group? Are you kidding me? I couldn't believe it. I swear to God, I couldn't believe it. And I waited and I waited and I waited for the call, and he finally called me and told me that they wanted me to come to a rehearsal and all that other stuff. That was it. That was it. I just knew that my stardom was going to take off. I was so psyched. I was just like, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe it. But life happens. And there was a whole lot of saga and drama between them not being with Warner Brothers anymore, looking to get signed with Sony, and a lot of A&R issues and a lot of stuff that really just didn't make for good music and good entertainment and a good group and so on and so forth. So yeah, we're basically riding it high off of the one song, I Ain't the One, which I still love, and I can still sing today. It's not a problem. Like, if we had a show today, I'll just go out and do it, you know what I mean? Like, we just did a few shows like the other year. It was like show after show after show after show. I'll actually link some stuff so you guys can see. But I won't lie to you, it does feel good when you get off stage and people want to take pictures with you and, you know, ask you for all kinds of stuff, and it's like, wow. I did a show one time. I got off the stage, and before I could even get to the gate, because I was walking a friend home, I got stopped like 50 million times. People wanted to take photos. They were like asking questions, and oh my God, I love you. It's an amazing feeling. It really is. But I haven't turned to my fans for support of my YouTube channel. I don't think people know that I have a YouTube channel. You know, I just want to organically grow my channel, and you know, it's a little mom vlog with my baby and my life and stuff like that. But these are just some of the things that you didn't know about me that I'm sharing. And so number 4 is that I'm a singer for an R&B group. So let's get into number 5. So yeah, I did this radio show called Street Market Radio on WHUT FM 91.9, and our show ran for 2 hours on a Saturday night, and I loved doing that show. We had people, we even went so far as to have a visual. We had a camera so people can actually, we streamed live so people were able to see us and call up and talk to us and stuff like that. And I was a host, co-host, along with 2 other guys. One guy we know is Mr. Man, who's a producer. His cousin, if you are familiar or not familiar with the song by Carlos Santana, Maria, Maria, you remind me of a West Side Story. He sung the hook on that song. So I did the co-hosting with his cousin, Mr. Man, super producer. And the other guy that we did the show with was Escalade. Escalade was a basketball player for &1. And if you are or not familiar with Mark Jackson, who used to be the lead coach for, the head coach for the California basketball team. I forgot the name of them. But he's like doing commentating and stuff. Anyways, I did the show with his brother, Escalade. May he rest in peace. But we had an amazing time doing these radio shows. Our first guest, I remember, was Ja Rule. Like other guests like Heather Hunter, who was a porn star, and she wrote a book and she signed one for me. And we also had a guy on named General. General was a songwriter. He had done some stuff for R. Kelly, songs like famous songs. I think he actually did like Fiesta and stuff like that. And then we had some other local talent that would come through and we'd interview them. So we did really good. I mean, I enjoy doing radio, and I've always wanted to do radio, and I thought about doing it more in the future, but you know, you think too hard, sometimes things just don't happen. So either you're going to do it or you're not. I also did hosting. I did hosting for a company called Greatest Entertainment. I also did the hosting for the radio show because we went to events. I remember one of the events that we went to was Fashion's Night Out, which was an event that would take place in Manhattan in New York City, and it was usually right around the time when we have Fashion Week. It was just like an outside of the arena type thing where you had like designers that were like trying to, you know, break into the business up and coming, and they had a lot of fashion shows there. And I remember interviewing this one guy who had these furs, you know, and he was telling us all about his fur collection and everything. It was great. I met a lot of people doing that. And actually the last hosting gig that I did was for, like I said, a company named Greatest Entertainment, and that particular event was by BET. That event was hosted by Angela Yee, who is a very well-known DJ here in New York at Power 105.1 FM, and she hosted that event, and it was for BET's new reality show called Hustle in Brooklyn. And I got a chance to interview like some of the people on the show, and it was a good event. I enjoyed doing that. So, I mean, I like doing hosting. I actually love it. And I would like to get back more into it once the world becomes the norm again. So, let's see where that may go. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see more hosting. I'll take you to all the events. We'll meet all the people together, you know. Just let me know. Just say the word. Say the word, because I am here for you. Say the word. So, number 5 is that I did radio and I did hosting. Number 6, real estate. So I was a real estate agent in New York City for 2 years. I love real estate. The idea of real estate just makes me so excited. Okay, I mean, like, as far as investments, selling, renting, all of it, you name it, you know, commercial, residential, I'm all about it. So yeah, I got my license here in New York, and I gotta tell you, the market is oversaturated. So if you're going to get into real estate in New York City, you better be prepared to go up against a lot of people, because it is so saturated that I used to have this idea, right? And this is probably because of back in the day, like real estate. When you think about a real estate company, you think of a storefront. You think of a nice couple walking down the street and say, "Oh, honey, yeah, we're looking for a house in this neighborhood. Let's pop into this real estate store and you know, see what they have," right? So I'm thinking, right, real estate is you work for a broker, and then you've got people coming in and out, and then, you know, you've got your clients and stuff. No, that ain't how it works. You literally have to go out there and meet people. You've got to network. You have to go to events. You have to go to functions. You have to go to parties. You've got to go to networking parties. You've got to meet people. You've got to keep a Rolodex. And this person might know that person. That person might know this person. They might connect you with this person. And you got to go on social media, and you got to see what people are talking about, see what people are interested in, see if you can get somebody on there. And then you got to tell your family, and then you got to tell. I mean, it's a lot. And I think that before you even get into real estate, you need to start building your network of people. That way, once you get your license, you've already got a starting point. But for me, I worked a full-time job. Then I went to the real estate office, and I spent my additional time, part-time, online, looking for clients. And granted, I did have some clients. I was looking to do luxury real estate, but I don't know any luxury people. So I I mean, you got to start somewhere, and I wanted to work my way up, but by the time the 2 years came and my license expired, I just decided not to renew it. So basically what it says is that if I'm going to get into real estate, I'm going to have to do it full time, and that's the way I look at it. I have to exert all of my energies into it to making it happen. But I will tell you this, my one dream or goal or bucket list item is that I'd love to be able to flip a house before I die. Like, that so entices me. I am so interested in that. I want to do that so bad. And if I can find the right angle, you never know. You just never know. So yes, number 5, or was that number 6? It was number 6. Number 6 was I did real estate. And finally, for number 7, I'm a runner. I love running. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I love walking, but I like to run. I can walk from here to Timbuktu, no lie, but I like to run a lot. I discovered running from a friend who's now a friend, a person who's now a friend, I'd say almost 10 years ago. And he's a good friend. He taught me the correct way of running, which didn't discourage me. I tried it once, and I guess I wasn't doing it properly, so I was always out of breath. So I'm not doing that. It's too hard. I can't breathe. Like, why would anybody want to do that? But the truth of the matter is that if you do learn to do it correctly, there's no limit as to how far you can go when it comes to running. I was somebody who couldn't even run a block without hauling over and gasping for air. But now, let me just put it like this. I did the New York City Marathon back in 2016, 15, one of those years. And comment down below before I say it how long you think it took me to do the marathon. I started in Staten Island. We went over the Verrazano Bridge, and I ended in Central Park after going through the 5 boroughs. So we went through Queens, we went through Brooklyn. I mean, we went uptown to Harlem. I think we even went to did we go to the Bronx? I think we went to the Bronx. And anyways, while I was running, I found money. I think I found like $26. But anyway, it was a beautiful experience, and I have all intentions of doing another one so that I can surpass my time that I did the first time. But yeah, I love running. It's a really, really good way to keep yourself healthy. It's a really good way to keep yourself slim, which, by the way, the spring is coming, and I'm going to get back out there and hit the road soon because this baby weight doesn't seem to be coming off. And with this pandemic and being home and eating all the time, I'm just gaining more and more pandemic weight. So I can't wait till I can get back out there and start running. As a matter of fact, I'll take you guys with me if you want. But I enjoy running. And when I do get a chance, back in the days, I used to go out and train with the Central Park Track Club, as the coach of the Central Park Track Club is a good friend of mine. And I would go out there to the FDR Drive track, and I would do intervals with these elite runners. Some of them actually do the marathon and finish it in like 2 hours. And I'm like, I can't. They're running like 5, 6, 7 minute per mile, and I'm like, damn, and for those of you that are not familiar, when I say they're running 6 minute miles, 6 minute per mile, that means that they're actually running a full mile in 6 minutes, or a little over 6 minutes. Me, when I run and I'm in good shape, I can do a 9 minute per mile. But for me to go back out there now and try to start running and do like maybe 3 miles, it'll probably take me a little over 12 minutes or 11 minutes. With that said, when I did do the marathon, I finished it in 5 hours, and I believe it was 46 minutes. So it took me all day. When I went out, the sun was up, and as I was coming in, the sun was going down. Okay, and I was out there all day with all these people. It's such a great feeling, though, being out there and everyone cheering all on the bridge and stuff. It's amazing. It's the most amazing and most rewarding experience that I think a person will have. But I was okay. I felt okay. I had people monitoring me. I had all my friends. I had them get the app, which would allow them to see my progress. So as I'm running, they can see me on the map. As I'm moving, they can see, oh, she's in Queens, oh, she's in Brooklyn, So when I got a cramp and I cramped up and I started walking, my boyfriend called and he was like, are you okay? You're not moving. Why are you not moving? So him and the coach, they were like, is she all right? Is she all right? And I said, yeah, it's the 8th mile. I caught my first cramp and dude, I'm gonna have to walk this off. And I spent the rest of the how many ever miles to 26.2 from 8 running and walking because the cramps are real. But I did go out and I did run and I did train, and I think maybe 2 weeks prior to that I went out and did a 12-mile run just to make sure that I was, you know, my breathing is up to par and I'm good. I even did the Brooklyn Marathon, which was like 13.1 miles, and I did that in a good time. It was like I was ready, but when I got out there for the marathon, it was like, look, I'm just gonna have a good time. So at the end of the day, number 7, I am a runner. I enjoy running, and I believe, I'm glad I discovered it. Someone pushed it in my face, come run with me, come run with me. I'm like, oh God, okay. I definitely see that it's something that I will do continuing for the rest of my life. So yes. So with all this said, I hope you guys got a chance to learn a little bit more about me and who I am, what my past is like, what I've done, and you know, I hope you guys will stick around long enough to see me do more exciting things like that, because just because I did it in the past doesn't mean that there isn't much more life for me to live. There is, and I'm pretty much more excited about it now, especially since I've got baby Milan and all the things that she's gonna do. So I want you guys to be here for that. So please be sure to subscribe to my channel, because I want to see you guys come back. We can be friends. There's nothing wrong with us being friends. It's just that I'm the kind of person who's kind of like a jack of all trades. I like to do everything, and I'm always into stuff all the time. So you just kind of never know what I'm gonna do next, and I want you guys to be here to see all of that. So please hit the like button if you like this video, if you enjoyed this video. Share it with people that you think would be interested in the things that I do here. Pretty much lifestyle, fashion, singing, whatever just comes up, because I'm just one of those people who live life. So please, please, please subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Live your life. Bye.